Surprise, motherfucker! What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood Venger Satanis, and I got some maps to show you. So I don't know if it's centered because I have the camera facing away from me, so we'll see. Because in a minute, I'm going to turn the camera on the 4 maps that I recently created. So I said in the last video how I had this idea. I'll just recap it very briefly. Instead of going through all the hoops of drawing a map and then sending it out and then getting it back and then having it printed up, I thought, why not just draw the map, color it myself, make it look cool as I can, and then have it laminated, and then boom, done. So over the last week and a half, what I've been focusing on is getting 4 maps. They're pretty big size, 18-inch by 24-inch. I think that's the size. So like 1.5 feet by 2 feet. Getting these 4 maps done and then colored. So then today, one of my 2 free days until summer break for the kids, can be laminated. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the maps. They've been laminated. This is the first one. I had a choice, of course, of going matte or glossy on the lamination. And this one in particular, I did matte just to try it out. All the other ones I did glossy because I just like glossy better. Now I have some overhead lights, so you're going to get some, some light sheen off the lamination. But this one I like. It's the first one I did. The purple came out a little dark, but I think it's cool, and I wanted to do like a dramatic difference between like the inside of this, cave cavern thing and in the background outside. So yeah, I think it you can see a lot of time and detail and different paint, stippling and spraying and splotching and things like that. A lot of coolness and effort went into that. So that's number one. I kind of wish this wasn't like so open, but I think if you, one of the things I thought about doing as sort of an aesthetic or like a vibe or not really a backstory, but kind of like something I had in mind was some of these cave and cavern tunnel areas developed around dead and buried either great old ones or giant monsters or the old ones spawn, something like that. So if you see this as sort of like the body of some great slithering, worm or elder god or something like that, and then the kind of like tunnels and caverns kind of hollowed out aside from that, you can kind of see that makes more sense. Otherwise, this big wide open area, some people don't like that. I kind of do sometimes I don't. Okay, that's number one. This one I decided to call Diablo Rosa or Pink Devil. And I don't know, I really like how this one turned out. You can see the Eldritch glyphs over here, which I use Zorano and his Cthulhu art, Lovecraftian aesthetic, as a guide for my own stuff. And I got permission from him way back in, 2018, when I was putting the first Chult book together, if I could use his stuff and use his aesthetic as a model for like the glyphs and things like that in Chult, and he said wholeheartedly yes, that I had his permission to use his stuff with Chult. So yeah, I just kind of like that. Let me get a little closer up. I like how this is lighter because obviously this is darker, and so the lighter kind of picks up all the detail. Spent a lot of time, doing all the little dots. There's probably like 1,000 of them in there, maybe a couple thousand. I have no idea. But I like this. This has kind of the same with the other one. It's kind of a central main cavern area, but then you have a lot of little divergence over here and over here. I like the kind of whimsical, like jagged but sort of rounded edges. Almost reminds me of Dr. Seuss, kind of with his images and stuff like that, illustrations of his book. So yeah, I think this is one of my favorites. I really like this one a lot. All right, this one I kind of went. This is number 3. I went wholehearted on this system of caves and tunnels. Kind of came about from the hollowed out husk of some old one or its spawn. As can you sort of see over here? I mean, you don't have to. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, just had lunch. The buzzard pus is backing up on me. You don't have to go with that. I mean, if I wanted to, this could just be like a natural, weird cave configuration. Or maybe the cultists of some god, when they were excavating the cave, decided to like dig out these like tentacle-like side passages because they love tentacles as much as I do, perhaps. So you got the nice sort of golden brown beige coloring for the background of the map itself. And then you have this yellowish green for the interior. I think that's a nice balance of colors. Again, you've got the sort of weird, like, I don't know if Dr. Seuss is the right kind of way of portraying it, or what, but I don't know. I really like how this turned out. This is another one of my favorites. I don't know if I like this one better or the Diablo Rosa. The Diablo Rosa is the only one I named. This one doesn't have a name, but yeah, I really like how that turned out. It's super cool. So I'm definitely going to use this and this. I might use all of them at VengerCon. I mean, that's really was one of the impetuses of doing these maps. And another one, another motivating factor besides VengerCon, which is July 19th to the 21st, I'll put a description in the link below so you can get your weekend badge. And I think there's still rooms available, so good times. Another thing was actually Harrison Butker and his address to that Christian college for their graduation or commencement or whatever. And one of the things that he said that stuck with me, here, I'll turn the camera on me for a sec, was do hard things. And immediately, I kind of like, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then days later, I was thinking about it some more. And then I'm like, you know what? He's right. When you're right, you're right. And he's fucking right. Not always, but occasionally, I should try to do things that I feel are slightly outside of my skill set or my abilities or how I normally do things. I should push myself. I should try to go beyond the furthest point that I previously had, to try to find that new, fresh limit beyond what I was, previously capable of. So that was an impetus of what you see here too. Okay, this is the last one. I want to do some coloration. that was in my wife's wheelhouse because her favorite colors are blue and orange. So the orange kind of dominated quite a bit. I didn't expect it. I expected a little bit more of the blue to show up. If you can see in the patches here. So I outlined it in like blue, and then I did a very light shading of the inside of all of these of blue, and then I did kind of like an orange watercolor wash over the map, and I tried to blot up some of the excess, which I did to some degree here and there, but I don't know. It's a little much. I wish the orange, especially in the interior parts of the cave, were just a little scale back. But this is all about experimentation, and I do like how it turned out. That's kind of cool. So as you'll notice, I did my what I do, my official map background. I don't know what to call it, but so I do the little dots, the little stippling, and I do like the larger stones, and just for added effect, you can see like the little black things that kind of give it. I'll see this one. Little added like visual dimension and differentiation between the outside of the cave and tunnel area and the inside. But here, I did what I'd say 90% of the OSR does with their map backgrounds. And that's just the little hatch marks. Hash, whatever. And I don't know. I know that style is super popular, and its sheer popularity is one of the reasons that I wanted to get away from it. But just for this one map, I was like, you know what? I've never tried it on a giant scale. I mean, if you assume this is giant, which, relatively speaking, I guess it is. So I wanted to try it, and I'm glad I did try it, but I think I prefer my own style. I mean, it's just kind of, not only do I like this style better that I came up with, but it's mine. And so when I do this, I kind of feel like I'm just copying everybody else and just doing what's popular, which is not my way. But I'm glad I tried this. I think it turned out cool. I really like it. I really like the dimensions of the cave system. I think it's really cool how varied and kind of weird it is, and also useful, because I think it's just generally useful when you have kind of like a bigger area and then a lot of smaller side areas, and some kind of connect and some dead end, and there's when you're coming up with encounters, you can kind of see like how one faction would maybe control one cave or another, or a cluster, and just things like that. So that's it. So you got number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1. So before I end this video, if you have a favorite, feel free to comment down below. Love to get your feedback. If you haven't already gotten your weekend badge for VengerCon 3, Revenge of the OSR, I highly recommend you do, because it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be an entire weekend of gaming. I'm going to have these maps. I'm going to be running Chult and Alpha Blue and Dallas, the role-playing game. A lot of great players, a lot of great GMs are going to be there. Diversity Dragons is the guest of honor. He's going to be there, running games and playing. It's going to be, it's going to be fantastic. It's a great hotel, very nice, big, clean, new, and you don't have to deal with all the woke bullshit. That's another plus. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you like the maps. Let me know what you think. If you have a favorite, comment down below. And again, the link to VengerCon 3 info and badge acquisition shall be provided in the link beneath.